Hello, everyone. How are you? We're just chatting with Brandy for a minute, telling her I'm tired. I've had a busy day. Dale was gone. I filmed. I did my whip and chat. I did other stuff. And then I went outside and I filmed outside. And I went to the flower garden and played with the tulips and the iris. And then went for a walk. And I'm tired now.
And I told Mindy I was tired because this is the week before spring break, and we're trying to get kids to make up all the assignments that they owe us. And this is when they come in last minute going, I've got this, or parents going, hey, I see this grade, blah, 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 here. And they just like hand me like stacks of, and then they want to know as soon as they hand it to me, okay, what's my grade? What's that going to bring my grade up to? I'm like, I'm not looking at this until I'm finished with the other stuff I'm grading. That'll come last. You turned it in late, you get the grade late.
Yeah. Like, how would I know? I don't have a automatic AI grader here.
Yeah, that would be nice. Put it in my hand, boom, and it automatically puts it on there. That'd be really sweet, but they don't exist.
It doesn't work that way. Hi, Lynn and Sherry and Lisa. Lynn and Sherry and Lisa. Lynn and Sherry and Lisa. I found myself today, I was filming stuff and I could not stop singing. I would say something, it would remind me of a line from a song. I'd just break out into song and start singing.
Maybe you got
just couldn't help myself. I can't help myself. See, I just can't. It's one of those kind. Okay, in my defense, it is what 60 something right now. I mean, it was the other day, it was 30 and we had a nice light dusting of snow on the ground. Yeah, it is currently 67 degrees. It has been absolutely gorgeous today. It's one of those days, it's like, it's spring, it's spring, it's spring. And, you just bust out into song. So I've always said it's one of those days that if I was in my car, it's the day you want to roll down the windows, crank up the radio and sing. Well, I'm not in my car and I'm not going anywhere. So I'm walking around outside filming and just.
Maybe all right. Let's see what we got going on.
That's right. Yep. I know, Karen. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous today. It's so lovely. So Lynn says it's.
Yeah, it was slightly cold this morning here. It was in the 50s. So I was like, woo.
Hey,
go away.
We're going to have a repeat tomorrow. High of 66 tomorrow. Thursday, the rain's coming in and it's going to be down to 51. And then it's, oh my gosh. On Monday, here we go again, 35.
Oh no.
35. I'm telling you, it's Michigan. It is just Michigan. Nothing we can do about it. It's Michigan.
No, I mean.
Yeah. So we roll with it.
And right now, I have a guest in the house right now.
A guest.
Yeah. Danny and Cece went to Disney this week, so we had the little man
all week long.
Yep.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No. Oh, it's going to be cold on Monday and Tuesday next week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Poopy pants.
For 3 days. So you're going to have cold for 3 days.
Yeah, poopy pants. Yeah.
And then it's going to warm up.
Not much.
And maybe this will be the last cold y'all get.
40, 50 after that. Not much. Anyhow. Robins and daffodils. I know crocus and robins and all the birds are back. I don't know why they're back already. It's like, people, it's too early. You should be south still. It's too early. You're going to freeze your tail feathers off. Anyhow, yeah.
Lynn, the puppy is doing just good. He's a crazy poo. He's a crazy poo-poo head.
So did they take the other child with them to Disney?
No.
Oh,
that one's with her father.
Yeah. And they're gone all week long? All week long to Disney?
Yep. I think they come back either Friday or Saturday.
I'm not that kind. I'm not. I couldn't do it. No. I'm too used to having my independence. My independence.
Well, Wayne does a whole bunch of, Wayne watches him, because with me working right now, Wayne watches him and That man loves that little boy, and that little boy loves that man. Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah. All right. So the book has taken some twists and turns, twisty turns and twists.
It
First of
has.
all, he gets hurt. She is now back in the good graces of the people of the town because she has accepted their help, right?
Yeah, but he got hurt because of her.
Well,
I love how it said she thought, oh, I just got his cloak, until like, no, there's blood going everywhere.
yeah, no. I kind of stabbed him or something. Yeah. Whatever.
She axed him.
He's bleeding all over the place. Yeah,
But
she got him good.
I found it interesting that the townsfolk, I mean, obviously she had her suspicions. She kind of thought that he was Fae, but for the townspeople to also know it I'm like, okay. But boy, Bramblebee, you are just not doing a good job of hiding what the heck you are, dude.
So here's my question though. When she chopped him and he's a fairy, how come he couldn't fix it? Because he hadn't admitted he was a fairy at that point, so he had to play along? I mean, what?
I think that's what it was, because we didn't see any parts of his magic until after, number one, she healed him. But even when she healed him, she went and got that stuff and he was healed. It's still, I don't think it was broken until he started being pulled to the tree. And then she admitted that she knew who he was. And I think that is what unlocked, maybe that's what unlocked his
and he was like, fine,
magic.
Fine. I can do my magic. Fine.
Because now he's magicking all over the place.
Yeah, he is magicking, isn't he? Yeah.
Mindy would like to be right in that moment right then, because he's making that place look like every place he touches.
Oh, I know. Bloom in the winter. Blooms in the snow. I mean, come on. That's pretty cool, isn't it? How pretty. That'd be pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have to be amazing.
I know. That'd be fun. Flowers coming out.
But I'd like to know, if you had all this, why are we having to eat crappy food? Which, granted, now it's getting better now that she's accepted the help and
Right. But then why was he so mean to the poor little guy, the little Poe guy at the creek? He didn't want his bread. I'm like, dude, shut up. You're tired of bread. What?
Well, I think number one, it's because Poe told her more than what he probably should have.
He's holding something against him.
Yeah. Because she didn't know about the door until Poe said something, and him looking for the back door, and he's just like,
okay. Well, yeah. So now we know his whole story. Stepmom kicked him out, couldn't kill him, kicked him out, and he can't find his way back. You don't know how to find his way back.
So now he's got to sneak into a back door and then overtake her and claim his right to the throne. Maybe that's the other reason he's prepared himself to be all hoity-toity. Yeah. And I want this. Give me this. Even though if he got magic, why can't he just magic himself up?
And if he's magic and he's got these, I mean, he's probably got some real good powers because he's high fae, right? So why did the tree attack him? Why did the tree get the better of him? I got questions. Why did the tree get the better of him?
I think the tree did that because that tree has the elven king, the evil elven king. The king needs him or wants him to take over, to take over him, take Bramblebee over and come out into the world.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Well, anyhow, the tree didn't get him. They rescued from the tree. They escaped from the tree.
But not unharmed. She got touched, and now obviously is ensnared a little bit.
Yeah, and then the girls disappeared. Now the girls are gone. The girls have disappeared, and now they're on this big trek, and he's just unhappy about the whole damn thing. He doesn't want to go, but he's thinking of earning money so he can keep doing his explorations to find his door, to find his way back, blah, 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 blah.
And it seems like Bramblebee is a little bit, or Bamblebee, whatever his name is a little bit of a player.
Oh, yeah. I had to laugh when he shows up there with, he got this chick in his bed. And they said more than one chick in his bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
like,
quite know what to make of the stories, Sherry. Like there was what, like 3 different tales or whatnot
there were
in
3
there?
different tales. One
Yeah.
tale was where he didn't follow what the deal was supposed to be, and he came to rue the day. And then another one, because the white cat was like, I was protecting you this whole time, and he thinks he's just being tormented by the same white cat.
Right. Right.
He's like, no, I kept you from being poisoned.
I kept you from this, you protected you from that, and look what you did. Yeah.
And look what you go and do. You go and cut me up and everything. I mean, like, kill me multiple different times. So you know what? This is on you.
Yeah, the stories were an interesting little twist in there. I wasn't quite sure what it has to do with anything yet, but I don't know.
I think it's just us seeing, because supposedly, this is supposed to be an encyclopedia. She is researching to put in stories of different fae. So here's like 3 little excerpts of different fae stories, stories with the fae in them. So I like it. I like these little stories that are put in there so that we're like, you get some more of things that have happened to people.
Here's a question for you. Do we know how she got her dog? And her dog is special, correct? Her dog is
Right. I mean, it hasn't been said how she got the dog.
right. So has somebody placed that dog in her path as a protector for her or what? That's kind of my thought, right? But because the dog is special. What dog doesn't leave footprints in the snow? What dog listens to the fae prince instead of her? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
The dog
ignored her completely and was like, doing what he says.
Yep, the dog is special. That's all I got. He's special.
So. I'm sorry you got a migraine. Get to feeling better, Lynn.
Oh yeah. It's definitely gotten interesting.
I'm liking it.
I wonder what that food was that he made, the little rolls or whatever that were gonna stay.
Some like little sweet rolls that stay
soft and make you warm when you eat them. Well, those are enchanted a little, huh?
Yeah, just a little. And if he could have been making that the whole time, why has she been getting burned?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that was the deal they struck. And she didn't bother to try to see if she could expand, because I guess she knows, if you ask too much, they're going to ask. That's part of the whole bargaining, and that's what I'm wondering what all she's going to get involved in with Bramblebee, because there's a little bit of bargaining that's going to be. I feel like there's some sort of little deals that are going to have to come up to get through some stuff, because
so she's only asked her 2 questions of Poe.
She's waiting.
Got 1 question left. She's got to make that a good one, huh? And then she's mad because she's like, well, you could have answered that question for me and I wouldn't have had to waste one of my questions.
I know. And he's like, what? Right? Yeah, because he's going to offer up stuff now.
Yeah. So she's kind of mad at him now about that. They have an interesting relationship, though. A very interesting relationship. But
Bramblebee and her, or Poe and her?
Bramblebee and her. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I cannot figure it out for the life of me, because, there's just things that he's just like lazy.
Yeah.
And just
he's
like
used to having people do stuff for him always. Always used to having people do stuff for him. And apparently apparently extremely good looking.
Well, I mean, if he get women left, right, and forward,
Center,
hither, and
left, right, and center. It
yeah.
seems to be all the
Although I
granddaughters,
want to
though.
know why did his two students run off? That's
I
what
don't
I want to
know.
know.
Did he send them? Did he make them leave? Did he tell them to get out of town or what? I don't know.
No, I don't think
I
so
have no idea.
because that left him without his because he knows she ain't gonna wait on him hand and foot.
Right.
She ain't gonna do all that crap. But of course, he's got enough charm that there's still someone coming to
He's got a
chop the
lot of
wood,
people. He's
and
got a lot of people
he's
from the
flirty
town.
dirting.
A lot of
Well,
people
he's
in
a
the
little,
town are helping him out. Because I
and
mean, he's extremely good looking. He's charming, good looking, charming. Everybody
he's
falls at his
fey.
feet.
Yeah, he's high fey. High fey. They are always known to be good looking.
Everybody falls at his feet. What do you need, sir? What do you need?
But it's got to intrigue him that she doesn't fall at his feet.
Right.
And that's why I think he won. And he even said he wondered at first if she had a little fairy blood in her. But, then he says, no, you're just exasperating. But yeah, because she hasn't she's never fallen under his
No. Hi, Emma.
his wiles.
Yep. Lynn, you've only had migraine hangovers. You've never had an alcohol hangover in your whole life, Lynn. Lynn. We could change that. We could help you have a alcohol hangover.
It's definitely something. I'll tell you, it's definitely something.
Oh yeah, we could fix that for you. Let you experience something new. Oh boy, that's funny. Anyhow, I'm liking this book. It's very interesting. I mean, it's gotten very interesting. So I wonder what's going to happen out in the wilds of the winter woods. They're really not trying to find these girls. They're really not. That's not the whole goal. They were just going to go and pretend like they're trying to find them.
Yeah, because I mean, her goal is to get the stuff for this book.
Encyclopedia. Mm-hmm. Right.
And we now know why he is so insistent that this book be successful and that he be popular at this conference thing coming up, because he needs the finances
He needs
to
money.
help him find his. And she's like, well, I'll go with you, because who else do you know that you can get that will know the Fae like I do?
Money, honey. That's what he's after. So yeah. Interesting. It's all very interesting. I really do like it though. I've heard a couple other people, booktubers, that have brought this book up and talk about it, and they're just like, this was a really interesting book. It's a fantasy, an adult fantasy, and it's like they got into it and it was interesting. Lynn's like, no, that's okay. That's okay. Oh well, high on morphine. Well, that's high. That's not a.
That's not the same thing.
That's not the hangover. You get to have a good time first, and then you have to have the hangover. So
where you feel like you've been run over by a ton.
Truck or two. Oh yeah, truck or two. Oh, boy.
And God forbid someone see my I've really only ever had like 2 hangovers, and the worst one was my very first one, because I thought my mom for sure was clueless. Needless to say, when you're drunk, you don't know exactly how you look to other people. You think you look one way, you really look a different way. And so when she burst into my room at 5 o'clock in the morning to vacuum, I thought my head was going to come off my head.
And she totally did that because she knew. Yep.
She was like,
oh, I know
you don't like it. I guess you shouldn't have been playing, should you?
That's funny.
I was like, can you stop? She's like,
no.
No. You play, you pay.
That's funny. That's a good way to deal with it, though. I mean, really, that was pretty smart. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't ever want to experience that again. I think I only experienced it one more time. Other than that, I was like, no, I think I need to watch, because that hurt like, That was something.
No, but did you stop drinking, or you just were more reasonable about it? You didn't get to hangover
I was
stage.
more reasonable about it.
Yes, you didn't get to hangover stage.
Yes.
Yep. Well, I'm enjoying it. I got our next section mapped out for us.
Whoop, whoop. Our
I did
next
that,
section. I really do. I like this book, and we've needed it. We've needed a book that both of
something
us
that we
enjoy.
really both like. Yeah. The last line of the section we're going to read before we stop says, "Then I set off again for the white tree." Oh, the white tree.
Oh, that white tree again.
Yeah. You know that white tree is important, right? So
Well, yeah, because that's where that king is.
yeah. She can't stay away. She can't stay away, right?
Well, that's because she got touched. They tell you to be careful when you're fairy touched. That makes me wonder, though, when they say be careful of being fairy touched. What's happening to all these women that he's touching?
Oh, I don't know. Well, he touched all of them before he did any magic. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't.
Potent yet.
There you go. Potent.
And see, there's another thing that's in this one that has me confused because, and maybe it only applies to if you are in their realm completely, because supposedly there's an actual fairy realm, and they tell you, you're not supposed to eat, although the fable, the stuff says, the fairy tales say that you're not supposed to eat or drink anything that's been offered to you by the fae, because then that will, like if you can't, if you're in their realm and you eat or drink, you can't leave. And so I'm like, well, but she's been eating from this brownie who's a fae.
Right.
Maybe it only applies to when you're in their complete realm.
I don't know.
Or maybe it applies to
the
food and drink from the high fae. I don't know.
What about the singing? All this singing that you're like, don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. They're going to draw you in, pull you in with their singing or something, right? Interesting.
Yep.
Well,
but now she's got those nasty smelling candles to protect her on that at the house.
They're not burning them though. They didn't burn them. Anyhow, and that's how
but she didn't hear the singing, and he did.
Remember, something came in. She saw something. And just I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. The last couple of entries here in the next section have question marks after the date. Like we're going to stop at 3rd December question mark. Apparently what? She loses track of time? I don't know.
Well, if they have entered the fairy realm, time there is not the same as time in the mortal realm.
So anyhow, don't read 3rd December question mark. Don't read that one.
Okay, don't read 3rd December question mark. Stop.
But do read 2nd December question mark.
Okay.
That's where the question marks start. 2nd of December, we're lost. We don't know where we are, time and space, and I don't know. Oh, excuse me. Interesting, though. All right. Maybe she
very
is
interesting.
Who knows? He thought she was.
He thought she was because of how well she seems to understand the fae, and maybe she is, and she just doesn't know it.
Huh.
Be interesting to find out if maybe she does, and she gets to find that out. That'd be interesting.
Because how did she get this special enchanted dog?
Yeah, I still want to know that one because she hasn't mentioned nothing. And exactly what kind of dog is it? This seems to be a big dog.
It seems like it's a big dog. Mm-hmm. Because it pulled the dude. It pulled her. It pulled her and pulled her and pulled her all the way down the hill or whatever, right? So it's got to be a big dog. It has to have a little bit of strength to pull a human being, right?
Thank you, Sherry, for always helping me out there, because I always look back to it and I look for that comment and be like, yep, that's where I read to.
I've been really bad lately with when I read, because I've been waiting later and later because I get engrossed in my other book that I'm reading. And so I keep waiting. And then I'm like, I had to read this morning a little bit. I'm like, I got to get this read. I didn't have much.
Well, I waited until Sunday to start reading it. And normally I would be done, but I had a lot of stuff happening on Monday and didn't have a chance to read very much on Monday. So I had to read the last 2 chapters the 10 minutes before I came live.
Right. I only had like 10 pages left to read today, but
I had to read those last 2 chapters.
I've been getting into my other book, and I read that. I start that after Tuesday. Like tonight, I got a new book picked out because I just finished a book too. So I get to start a new book, and I'll read that like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now I'm pushing it to Friday.
Well, see, I was so late getting started because I was at the end of one of my books and I wanted to finish it before I, came into this. So that's what I did.
I've been reading my other one for quite a while, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's coming to a head. Everything's happening. We're finding all the answers to everything and what happened in the past and why they broke up and how they're going to fix it, all that stuff. I needed to finish it. It was a good book too. In Love and Other Words, or it's not it's just Love and Other Words. It's a good book.
I'm reading another one of my supernatural cozy mysteries, and it's a series with 20 books. So I'm like about halfway through. So
the whole series?
Yeah. Because I mean, with these cozy mysteries, like they're only like 250 pages each, so they're not that big.
I went back to my Elsie Silver series I was reading. I'm on the 4th one now, and these are 450 page books. They're kind of, they're getting a little thick, and really, really, really juicy, They're good.
I'll see. This series I'm reading, I can't even remember the name of it now. So I think it's like Witch in the Woods series. And, she's a witch, and her dad, well, she's part witch and part her dad is a loci, which is literally the heart of the forest. He is he's a living tree that is the heart of the forest. And he had taken on human form, met her mother, had her, but then the forest started dying. So he had to turn back into his tree self, because without him in his tree form, the island dies. So she has the ability, because she's part him, she has the ability to talk to and feel animals and plants and all that kind of stuff. And she's in love with a gargoyle shifter. And it's so, oh my God, it is just so good. It's so good.
You got me all confused. We got gargoyle shifters.
Yeah, you have gargoyle shifters, you have dragons, you have dragon shifters, you have
what the hell?
Witches, vampires, werewolves, and it's just their cozy little town. It's a supernatural town, and I think it's called Witch in the Woods series. It's real. I really like it. Yes, they're solving murders, but because she is an investigator, and he's an investigator.
I don't even know what else. Still good. I don't even know what half them things are you're talking about. Tree people, and I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well, you have all kinds of supernaturals out there. Different types of supernaturals.
I guess so.
And they even have a Leviathan.
Whatever that is, right?
The big fish. It's like Nessie. It's like Nessie.
Nessie, like the Loch Ness monster. That's a big serpent thing.
Yep, big serpent. And there's dragons. Well, there's a dragon, and then there's there's dragon shifters. But yeah, it's just it's really it's so neat. You got mermaids, sirens.
Wow.
Whole nine yards. I love it. I love this series, and I'm glad that there's 20 books. So
wow. Okay then.
It does identify as a tree. He definitely does identify as a tree.
He's the devil. Who's the devil?
what makes me worried is that because she's part him,
That doesn't
if
even
at
make sense.
some point in her life is she gonna have to take over that mantle and become, because then that's gonna put
That doesn't even
kids
make
and
sense. How can somebody be part of somebody else? That doesn't make sense.
because it's her blood, it's in her blood.
That makes no sense.
She's half of him.
Half of him? How should she be half of him?
Because he's her father.
Oh. I thought it was just some random dude she was half of. And I'm like, how can you be half of a person?
No.
Oh.
The tree, the heart of the forest, the tree is her father.
Woo, woo.
And she goes and visits him. And now her mom goes back and visits him because he can't go back to human form because it'll
go
kill them.
anywhere because he's a tree, but he's a human tree, a tree human.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he had the ability to turn it. He gave up his ability to change into human form once he realized the island was dying, because if he were to ever shift back into human form again, the island would die.
Complicated.
You can't have that.
And I thought the whole King Arthur court thing was confusing. Good God. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, we're done. That's it, folks. Wrapping it up. Calling it a night. What do you think? I got to find my husband because he's got to crank up the grill and cook some brats on the grill. That's dinner tonight.
Yeah, my husband's got to go pick up. We're out of diapers. We got to go get some more diapers for the baby. And then we'll be doing dinner.
They left you without enough diapers, and oh my goodness. These young folks.
And clothes. We had to go buy some additional clothes for him and a bottle.
Yeah. What? Why did you gotta get clothes? Couldn't you just go to their house and get clothes?
No.
Why?
Because they supposedly packed, because he's grown so fast, he keeps growing out of his clothes, so he doesn't have very many. So we have what he does have.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because he's in that growth spurt where, my God, he just keeps growing out of everything.
All right. Time to hit up some garage sales. Okay.
Well, we went to Dollar General.
We're going to let you guys go, and we will see you next week. Happy reading, and see what kind of mischief these two get into. Bye, everybody.
Bye.